Hello, this is your video explaining your independent narrative study projects. Before we get started, I want to talk to you first about growth mindset. I wanted to remind you first that a lot of people care about you and your education. That's why your teachers, the other school support staff, and your parents are always working to make sure that you can learn as much as you possibly can. And remember, you're privileged to be at a college-ready school. We do projects here that are very purposeful, that help prepare you for your future. And I also want you to remember that you're smart and that you are capable. And while you're working on this project, I want you to think about how you're in control of your success. I know that you can do this project, and I also want to remind you to don't ever play yourself into thinking that these things aren't true. So why independent study project? So projects like these are possible now thanks to technology like this awesome video and your personalized learning time. Another good reason to do independent long-term projects is because it prepares you for college and your future career. Whether you decide to pursue a college degree or you go into the workforce, you'll have to complete long-term projects by yourself with no one there to direct you outside of a classroom setting. That being said, I do have some expectations for you as you complete this project. The first expectation is that you will ask questions or rewind this video to review it if you don't understand the project. The second expectation is that you should reach out to me if you need help on this project. Remember, you can reach me during breaks, before and after school, and by emailing me or calling me by visiting the Contact Me page on my Weebly. If you're still struggling, I can also pair you with an 8th grade tutor. For your independent study, you will compare and contrast different interpretations of society by analyzing the themes and conflicts of narratives in different formats. You can choose to read or watch one of the dystopian novels or films on the following slide, and then you'll complete an analysis packet to prepare for a Socratic discussion of themes in dystopian literature. I'll explain more about the Socratic discussion at another time. These are the options for the novels that you may read. You can see that the books range from a level 4.3 to a level 8.9. When making a decision for what book to read for this project, you should consider your reading level and your ability to read a novel and still complete all of your other assignments. Remember that you'll be able to read during deer time and that you should be reading at least 40 minutes a day at home. Since all of these are AR books, as you complete this novel study, this will also help you reach your AR goal. The film options are here. Those with stars mean that they are PG-13, which means that you'll have to get your parent to sign a permission slip if you choose these films. The films in white are on Netflix. The films in blue are not on Netflix. Since not all people have access to films either on Netflix or DVDs, I do understand that not all of you will be able to watch a film. That being said, that's not an excuse for not completing this project. If you know that you cannot access these films, you should choose a book. Because it is not as challenging to watch a movie as it is to read a book, your project will be more extensive or have an extra part if you choose a film option. So keeping the purpose of our independent narrative study in mind, you'll be completing an analysis packet with 3 parts. The first part is a narrative analysis log. It looks very similar to the summer reading log. The second part is for those who choose to watch a film only. You can create a presentation, a detailed Venn diagram, a comic, or another visual to synthesize your comparisons between the narrative you chose and the giver. The third part is a multi-paragraph essay that follows the cell structure. For your narrative analysis log, you'll be completing a log that looks very similar to the summer reading log. So the narrative log has 3 parts. It's breaking up your narrative into the beginning, the middle, and the end, or the exposition, rising action and climax, and falling action and resolution. Just like the summer reading log, you'll list the title of the narrative you chose, major details about the exposition, 3 things that you wonder about, and your inferences about what could be the answer to your wondering. And then you'll draw a picture of what you envisioned while you were reading or saw while watching your narrative or reading it. You'll pick out a quote and be sure to include a detailed explanation of how it relates to dystopian themes. I've listed some suggestions for you here. If you choose to read a narrative, you'll need to write down the page number of the quote that you choose. But if you choose to watch a film, you can circle the part of the film at which the scene that stood out to you occurred. If you need help understanding this vocabulary, please let me know and I'm happy to provide you a vocabulary list. You'll repeat this for the rising action and the climax, as well as the falling action and the resolution. The last part we need to discuss is the criteria for success for your sell-out paragraph. Your claim will need to respond directly to the guiding question and include at least 2 thematic aspects or concepts relating to the theme of the dystopian narrative that you chose, and you'll need to explain how they relate to the conflict or themes of the giver. You'll need to cite at least 4 pieces of evidence total. 2 pieces of evidence will come from the giver, and 2 pieces of evidence will come from the narrative. You'll need to make sure that your evidence is properly cited and that you include the page number or the context if you're watching a film. The evidence you select should logically support the comparisons you stated in your claim. The links need to fully explain how the evidence you chose supports your claims. They should not simply repeat information you listed in the claim or the evidence. The last part of the criteria for success is things like spelling, capitalization, punctuation, and grammar. If you need to review any parts of this video, please rewind it or ask me.